Okay, this is I believe the 18th in the series of videos on techniques for constructing a workload tracker for physicians. For those of you following along, in the last video, we spent quite a bit of time defining the tab controls across the top. And since the last video, I made some minor stylistic changes just to increase the real estate on the form, but everything really remains the same. The CPT button is here, and I just placed made it a little smaller. I think we were taking up too much room. Just called it CPT, which is a CPT search and add. You can post to the list here. The descriptive parameter search is still there, and type I, and it'll bring up your list of everything in the database that has I reference to it. The exit button is there. It'll close the entire database. And I put the copy button, and this is the other thing that I spent a lot of time with on the last video, where we placed a little fairly hidden text box on each one of the tab sheets, or they call them pages, I believe. Each one of the tab pages. And since the last video, I even created another tab page, called it Head and Neck. This seemed a little crowded for me, so just to increase a little bit of the, again, work on some of the real estate, make things not so crowded. I made a separate tab for head and neck surgery, and I'm just stretching these things out so it doesn't look so crowded. And you can make as many tabs across the top as you really wanted to. Okay, but when I made a tab across the top, I also had to create another little text box. And if you bring up the property sheet, this little box here is TBX3. Okay, and with that, let's see. If you look at this I created an embedded macro here. You look at the ellipsis. Now everything's, you know what, let me just go back and get that number off there. So it's 58,500. 58,500. Save and close. And save and form view. Let's go to head and neck. We'll just test it out and see if we can't enter in a new line item for 58,500. Okay, something went off. Probably missed. All right, let's check it again. 38. That's it. 38. 4. 38,500. Okay, save and close. Save in form view. I think I did this once before. Click here, right click, delete. Well, it shows you another example of how to delete records. Go to our head and neck tab, 38,500, and there it works. Okay. It puts in the day, the date, the CPT code, pulls out the description and the work RVU value, and then does a calculation based on the $56.05 times this number will give you this dollar amount in Medicare dollars for that procedure. And I think you notice it didn't jump back to the first tab. Were it not that we had this text box as our little backtracker, if you will, to this tab. It would have remained at the evaluation and management, the first tab. Okay. And I think we did septoplasty. Yes, we did septoplasty. This button is hooked up. This one we did fine needle aspiration biopsy. That button's working. And if for evaluation and management, 99244. And if you'll notice, this one's, I bolded this, the font on this button. And I found that really helpful with things that I click a lot. I bold them. Endoscopy, fiber optic endoscopy. I do this quite a bit in the office, and I bold that one. Cerumen, and I use the 69990 very frequently in the office as well. All right, well, let me show you one other thing that had a little bit of modification since the last video. Some stylistic changes here. Let's go to the design view. The macro action. Remember, this one was a long text. What do they call it? Long text data type. And for the format, I just changed the font size to 8. The font size really doesn't matter. What we're looking for is a way to quickly copy and paste it. And well, just while we're here, I put in another button called tblCopy, so you could. And here's the embedded click macro for that. It opens tblCopy and it closes the door behind you, if you will, the frmCopy. And this one I did somewhat the same thing, just close the door so when you leave this form it will close behind itself. So frmCopy, close window. And I think I changed the names to be more consistent with what is on return domain to reflect exactly what it says here. This tab control is evaluation and management. So this tab controls evaluation and management, office procedure, operative procedures, and head and neck surgery. So for example, say you wanted to create a button in the head and neck surgery area, and you would go to copy, go to head and neck surgery, copy all this, control right click and copy, return domain. Let's see how fast we can do this. 38510. So we would go to design view, find 38510, do a macro builder, control V, there's your TXT30, and you'd quickly change this number 38510, save and close, save in form view. So if we 38, okay, so we just created this button that's now active within the surgery tab and neck surgery. This seems a little redundant since it says it here and here. It's all style points for how you want your tracker to look. Okay, well that's about all I wanted to say in this video. The next video we're going to get into reports, which things get interesting again. But we're getting close to the end of this whole process of making a RVU tracker. Probably maybe 2 or 3 more videos, and we'll be wrapping things up. Okay, well thanks for your attention, and I hope to see you in the next video.